I just think it's so disingenuous that these fuckers are still like not cutting their hair to show you that like you need to still stay inside. Have you seen this shit?
No.
Like the Jimmy Fallons are still like kind of shaggy, but they shaved their face. Dude, Trevor Noah had a beard for like a whole year. It's like, bitch, just because you're locked inside doesn't mean you can't shave your fucking face. You can't see a barber. No, I get my shit like that old timey like foamy one blade thing, and I just don't want to mess it up.
Believe me, I was trying hard, and it took me a few seconds to connect the dots of what you were talking about because I haven't heard this story at all. But I was tracking back to that episode we had not too long ago about the state being a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what parable from the Bible are you thinking of right now? Remember where Jesus, like, you know, when you're atoning for your sins or whatever, like, you know, dress yourself.
Right, don't let people see you fasting, and don't let people feel bad for you because you're fasting.
What you don't get praised for on earth, you'll get praised with my Father in heaven, that kind of thing.
Right, like, yeah, I'm still inside. Like, bitch, go get some clippers and trim that shit up. You look like...
It is a real life...
You look like Bart Simpson over here.
No joke, physical manifestation of a religious ritual.
That's what it is. And speaking of rituals, how do you feel about the Cuomo solicitation for blowjobs?
Wait, did you just... Oh my... I'm not touching that one. The Cuomo part, yes, not the analogy or whatever.
You're going to touch Cuomo? Well, I wish those girls would have. They would have had a hell of a lot more to go off of.
Oh my God. Well, that's David.
I mean,
I'm going to need you to say at the beginning of the episodes that your opinions are your own and not necessarily
I think that's the fine print guy. Where's that? Didn't we hire a fine print guy?
You can't make jokes like that, man. We're going to get canceled. We might already be.
We just don't know yet.
My personal NSA agent, Jerry, is...
Once they find out we exist, we're canceled.
Yeah, Jerry gets the podcast released contemporaneously. He's listening to all my shit.
Well, God bless him. He's our first fan. He was the first fan we ever had. He's heard the unheard episodes.
I can just see Jerry at night, like, scrolling through his Facebook feed as he's listening to my bug.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a ping that goes off every time Jerry should, like, address something that you said in your... I feel like you're pinging Jerry all the time. Like Jerry's at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, fuck, dang, come on, bro.
He used another one of the trigger words.
Dang, I'm trying to help you out, man. Like, I'm trying to mute most of these, but you're sending in 50 a day. I can't ignore all of them. I've got a job to do. Anyway, all I'm saying is I'd be a little more concerned about a little less concerned about a blowjob that never happened, because I'm pretty sure that's not a law that we have in this country. Thou shalt not solicit blowjobs from younger women, lest ye pay for it. Then that's a law. But I'd be pretty
Don't not do the thing, but don't do the thing and get paid for it, because when money's involved, that's just icky.
I'm a little more concerned about the 13,000 people that...
man.
Whatever.
All right. I think we need to take you off of this topic, and I think we need to launch into the episode. Should we do it?
Is that what you think?
I think so.
That's dangerous to do nowadays.
All right. Let's go. Hey everybody, Dane and David here.
Hi,
Weapons
guys.
of Meme Destruction Podcast, episode 33. David, this is our Jesus episode. We made it. Hey, listen, we're either in league with the Son of God or we're like the highest level Mason that you could possibly be. One of those two things. And how could either one be bad?
I mean...
I hear the Masons run shit around here.
I hear the music down in hell is pretty awesome, to be honest with you.
Oh, God. All right. So we're going to switch it up a little bit today. Sometimes we go like one topic whole episode, but we had a couple.
Let's be frank.
Okay. All 32 times before this.
Let's be frank.
But there were a couple things that tickled our fancy this week, and we got to talk about both of them because they're hilarious. So with that being said, we're going to launch into the first one. It's going to be its own topic, and then we're going to launch into number 2.
There'll be a commercial break,
Yeah.
and then we'll see on the other side of the advertisements.
Correct. Amundo, because, this thing isn't cheap, so we got to start paying for it somehow. David.
That's my name.
I was strolling down Facebook this week.
Strolling or scrolling?
Scrolling, whatever.
Doesn't
I was
matter.
ghost riding the whip down Facebook this week.
Fair enough. Beast mode.
And as one does, I follow a lot of pages. I think I've said this on the show
Let me
before.
guess. Scantily clad women.
No, not Facebook.
Oh, okay. That was so close.
So I'm just scrolling down Facebook, and as one does, I follow entirely too many pages for my own mental sanity. Pages that I vehemently disagree with.
But that's a healthy thing. It lets you know what they're thinking.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to understand their side of the story.
yeah.
So you're more informed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Got it.
let me just give you a range. I follow everything from CNN to Marxist memes because reading Das Kapital is hard. That's a meme page that I follow on Facebook. You can imagine the cheery stuff that's going on over there.
I knew the first one, and
Anyway, so that's the range of stuff I'm listening to. And what do I see? I scroll by the other 98%.
Describe it, please, just in
A
case.
little bit more mainstream of a meme page, but, pretty much pro Bernie, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, like
Okay, so
far
more
left part of the Democratic
more liberal
Party.
leaning. We'll
Yes,
call it more
yes.
liberal leaning.
But, they're always, riding with Biden because he
Oh,
ran against Trump. Something like
yeah.
that. So that's generally what they are. So they share an article of, maybe you heard, the CPAC stage, the Conservative Political Action Committee. It's either committee or conference.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Same thing.
Has their annual event where they invite, big power players in the Republican Party. And wouldn't you know it, those dinglings are either so evil and don't care or so stupid that they completely designed their stage to look like an Odal Rune. Which is basically a Norse symbol that the Nazis adopted in some of their regalia, I believe, to be, a member of the SS. I could be wrong, but it was a symbol of prestige within the Nazi party. And those sneaky Republicans just designed the whole stage around this.
The swastika was another symbol too that they adopted too, right? That was a
Why didn't they build their stage like that?
Yeah, I mean, why stop there?
I mean, if you're truly as
Why
evil,
just have a bunch of fireworks displays that go around a little swastika, little rocket propelled swastikas.
So I got to thinking, I was like, David, I was only not a moment ago old when QAnon was going on and all these lefty pages, the other 98% being one of them, sharing all their memes mocking Trump Republicans, conservatives, because they're all the same thing no matter what, as far as they're concerned. Sharing the QAnon conspiracies. And QAnon always had like, ooh, this pizza symbol means boy,
Or,
and that one means
I've got
girl.
another one for you. Canceling Alex Jones because he's just spewing hate speech that's just rhetoric that's never been true ever. He's just weaving tales of yarn that are just so inconceivable. We can't allow him to be on a media platform anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because his conspiracies are, are legitimately dangerous, putting people's lives at
dangerous.
risk. Right.
And false, by the way, false.
Right. Now, these pages, like the other 98% at the height of the QAnon, were like sharing what they thought were good arguments in the forms of memes and posts of like, oh, can you believe those stupid, conservatives, Republicans, Trumpies, whatever you want to call them? They are so susceptible to conspiracy theories, and they started sharing like psychology studies about if you're more conservative leaning in your politics, you tend to favor conspiracies more. And they had all these things that were just poking fun, like, haha, look at them, they fall for conspiracy theories. Well, oh, David, how the turntables have turned.
I believe that's The Office. Might be season 4.
I am not a conspiracy theorist. I declare it.
I declare it.
You can't know, but I declared it.
You don't know me. You don't know Dio.
And I was thinking, David, before the Odal Rune story, I thought, if I were somebody on that side of the spectrum, that's why, after all, I follow their pages. I'm trying to understand the way they see the world. And they must legitimately think that when they make those criticisms of people on the other team, Republicans, conservatives, yada, 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 that they're valid criticisms because the caricature that they've built up in their own minds about what a conservative is absolutely true. They're not caricaturing them when they call them Nazis and racists and fascists and all that.
That's what they are.
That's what they genuinely are.
Right.
So when they seemed on the left side.
By the way, this is all coming from the side now that is saying that we need to come together.
Right. Yes.
Same side, right?
Yeah. They have a mandate, controlling, both the legislative and executive branch. They have a mandate from the people to legislate for the
now
left.
it's peacetime.
Right. Exactly. But they're going to be wise, loving rulers. So anyway, they must legitimately think that their caricatures are absolutely true because then they can just lobby those critiques. But
lobby or lob? Which one are they doing? I'd say they're more lobbing.
I think they're both. They're lobberizing.
They're lobbying.
Yeah.
Can I take that one again? Roll it back. And lobbying. We'll take that one.
Nice.
I think it was better than the first one.
But then when they flip the tables around, they feel like the right is caricaturing them.
Yeah. How dare you make fun of me for my self-consuming
think
prophecies.
About it. So like Republicans use the scare term socialism all the time, right? Yeah. Which it is legitimately a scary term if you have, 2 cents worth of historical, grounding.
We like what you're doing now. That's ours.
So, we
like that product.
Not exactly our rainbows and sunshine. And these pages, like the other 98%, will laugh that off and be like, oh yeah, because socialism's so scary. Like, that's what the New Deal was, and that's what Social Security is. And they think they're making these points like those are good arguments for socialism, despite the fact that they're all failing.
Those are, you need a fire department, right, Dane?
Yeah.
But
even still, to them, like, they don't countenance the fact that Republicans are caricaturing them by trying to do that and shut down the conversation by saying, well, I don't have to talk to you. You're just a crazy leftist. Just like they say, I don't have to talk to you. You're a racist deplorable.
Yep. So they characterize the other side, but they don't think that they can be characterized.
Exactly.
Characterized.
Right. And then
I am infallible because I've called you fallible. Therefore, the only person that can judge me is you, and you're already fallible, so I don't see anyone here but me that is infallible.
That's why they believe in their heart of hearts that only Republicans are conservative of falling victim to conspiracy theories, because they're clearly caricaturing us.
Clearly.
But they're not capable of doing it because they're not caricaturing the right
They're
at all.
not smart enough.
They're just saying true things about the right.
They're dumb. They think there's some place called Fuck Island that a certain Black Ops operative takes all the world's leaders to that bang pedophile kids and stuff.
Jesus, man. Why?
Because that's QAnon. That's QAnon in and of itself.
Oh, I know.
Jackass. That's the rhetoric. This is exactly what we're talking about. Why are you getting mad at me? Motherfucker, I didn't say it. I'm just repeating it.
Look at me self-censoring here.
Jesus,
again, all the views of David are
God damn, he's like, I was reading down my own personal diary. And then today, I thought, I do not hold the views of QAnon in any regard. There's your fucking fine print, Dane.
So anyway, where Dane very rudely interrupted David with a heavily implied accusation.
Good Lord, that was a cannonball.
David,
that wasn't lobby yee. That was a fire.
David, I'm becoming that which I've promised to fight.
You're becoming the monster which you've been slaying.
But don't worry, everybody. There's a happy ending to this story.
Oh, I've always loved happy endings, Dave.
Because I don't think I heard about this, maybe Monday?
Nothing. Okay.
No, I'm looking around.
You know what? No,
you've gone too far already.
First of all, I didn't go far enough. Second of all, you're the one that went too far for me. Go ahead. What was your point?
So, wouldn't you know it, not even a whole week goes by. Not even a whole work week. Heck, condense it less than 7. Not even a whole work week goes by, and wouldn't you know it, the whole thing falls apart. Those poor lefties. They're like, what did you call them? The Wile E. Coyote of politics?
Yeah, they always fire the rocket down frame, and then the dumbass Roadrunner goes, and then it somehow just redirects through a pipe, and then he eats his own, ordnance, pretty much.
Yeah, well.
Right before but they always hold up a sign. But the lefties seem to be pretty big fans of signs nowadays too, right?
Touche.
There we go.
You're never going to guess. The company that actually designed the stage has nothing to do with Republicans. Nothing at all to do with racism, Nazism, fascism, and all the other buzzwords. It's a company called Design Foundry, who, when confronted with the fact that they may have built a Nazi symbol stage for those evil, dirty Republicans, came out and said that they were shocked and saddened by the characterizations of their design because it was the best use of the space that they could have done within the COVID restrictions of social distancing in that small ballroom. So they came up with the design specifically to accommodate social distancing in a room of the size that it was going to be in.
And the Republicans...
Sounds pretty innocuous, right? Now, I haven't said what the political persuasion of this company is. This all sounds like a very good excuse for the Republicans to say that we didn't do this on purpose, right?
Right.
Well, that's until you go to another layer down on the onion and you realize that the owner of the company...
Not the onion, the media source. A layer in the metaphorical onion.
Yes, both the metaphorical and the real world practical.
Right, okay. Just as long as we know.
The owner of Design Foundry is a Democrat who openly cheered on social media about Biden's election. They have taken jobs for and performed services for MSNBC, that super bastion of Nazism over there at Google. And wouldn't you know it, the Biden Cancer Initiative. They've built stages and things for the Biden Cancer Initiative. Now, doesn't sound to me like a super dyed-in-the-wool conservative Nazi fascist group to me. What say you, David?
I think this is just poor marketing. Is what I really think it is. I think it's just like if the left took this shot, it's like these are all racists, and then it comes out like, oh, it was a liberal leaning company that made it. They should just go praise Odin.
not only made it, but here's like the kicker for me, the whole thing. Maybe I just, I'm connecting too many dots. But the kicker for me of the whole thing is that the purpose for the design within the room that it was in
was
to accommodate
that they made.
The left's new religion of social distancing because of COVID. They're literally following the rules of your religion to the best they possibly can. That's the reason for the design of the stage.
Straight to Nazism.
And you push them straight into Nazism.
That which you've always fought, foisted by your own petard.
Oh my God! It's just
you can't write
it. Yeah,
you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
And I just wanted to take.
Let's not belabor the point, but let's.
You're right.
Let's put the shovel.
We should be moving on, but I just want to. So here's. I don't want to end on a sad note, but this is kind of appalling. So I just go to Google and I type in CPAC Odal Rune. I'm just going to run down some headlines. I'm not going to get into the articles. Just want to run down some headlines. Tell you who wrote it, who's responsible for this headlines, and then tell you where we got our information. So anyway, first one from The Guardian. Hyatt Hotel says says stage resembling Nazi rune is abhorrent. Says Nazi stage is a Nazi stage and it's abhorrent. No, that's not what it says.
I mean, it sounds like they would put that shit up there.
The Washington Post. CPAC stage resembled a Nazi symbol, the Odal rune, critics say. USA Today. CPAC's neo-Nazi stage design was a public high five to white supremacy. That was my favorite. Newsweek. Odal rune history, from Norse alphabets to CPAC Nazi symbol claims.
You know what? All this reading of this, you're still going?
No, I think we got the crux.
So
what are the big media sources want us to know about this 5 days later?
Now that all this has come out, And now that they have egg on their face, I'm sure they'll retract it, come out and say, we made a mistake. You know what, guys? The Republican Party ain't so bad. Vote for them if you feel like it, or vote for us if you feel like it. We're all Americans. We all make mistakes.
I think that's exactly
what AOC is going to say on Monday.
Yep. So, listen, that's hilarious. And it just kind of tells you about the state of our world today, David.
You want to go on to the second topic?
I think I do.
After this quick ad break?
Yeah. Go for it.
Hey guys, have you ever felt just less than fresh? Try taking a shower every now and again, you dirty sons of bitches. Wash your butthole all the way down to your feet. I know you guys stop at your knees, but stop doing that shit. And shave your pubes, for God's sake. It looks like an undergrown bush down there. And I'm sure Manscaped could help you out with that at some time. We're not reading down the cue card because they're not paying us yet. We're just practicing our advertisements. So
we're just what you used to say. You were just workshopping.
We're workshopping advertisements, and so go to Manscaped and buy some shit. I don't know. Back to you, Dane, for the second topic.
Second topic, David. Super hilarious topic. Minimum wage. Go. Tell me how you feel about it.
I thought we were doing the Seuss.
Seuss is in minimum wage.
Seuss is in minimum wage?
We don't want people thinking, okay, that we know what we're talking about on a very regular basis.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
Holy
you
hell.
might say, Dane, how are we going to get from the minimum wage to Dr. Seuss?
No shit.
Let's read on.
I'm with you, dear listener.
Let's read on. So.
Intriguing.
Minimum wage. The AOCs, Elizabeth Warrens, Bernie Sanders of the world really banging that fight for 15 drum. And as one does, when you really don't have anything of substance or value to provide to the conversation other than screaming, that's not fair.
Can I take
what
a
do
guess?
you do to the other side's argument, David?
Well, I know when I don't have the answer. I know the other side clearly doesn't have the answer because they don't have any answers.
So what is the other side's attempt at an answer? It's
blame the other side.
Racism.
It's always racism. Shit.
Listen, no matter what the other person says, if you can even make a half-ass attempt at tying it to racism or something other unseedy, you beat it. You win. Like, debate over.
Oh, you know who else said that? Hitler. Oh, yeah, you like those blinds? You know who else liked those blinds? Joseph Stalin. How about that?
He did. He was a big fan of red.
His blinds.
Big fan of red and yellow.
He had a hammer and a sickle, if I remember correctly.
So anyway, here's how this is being done. AOC and company are out there saying the filibuster was created during Jim Crow to basically set up procedural rules to prevent civil rights legislation from being passed. And that's bad. We don't want that. We don't want any sort of legislation that's going to help up, our non-white American citizens. Okay, AOC, as far as that goes, but the minimum wage, some of its first opponents were blatant, explicit, unironic racists that you don't even have to reach for, like they said it, and eugenicists. So, if we're throwing out rules that we don't want to play by,
wasn't it the gym we used to work out at?
Why should we throw out the minimum wage?
Eugenicist?
We did.
We worked out at Eugenicist.
We were.
Eugenicist! You Wichita view.
Our Wichita peeps know exactly what we're talking about.
You get it.
So anyway, I'm just going to give you a quick 1-2 of the arguments because you're probably thinking, Dane, you're making that up. There's no way. I shit you not, dear listener.
Hold on to your coffee mugs, or depending upon how much of an alcoholic you are, your beer mug.
So
don't drink beer out of a mug. What are you doing?
Shortly after
leave it in the bottle,
the slaves were freed, the openly racist white politicians and policy makers around the country wanted to keep them out of the economy. They didn't want them competing with white labor because they wanted all the good jobs to go to the white laborers and not the black laborers. So they came up with an ingenious political idea called the minimum wage. And their argument was that, and again, these are in their terms, their argument was essentially, well, since black people aren't as totally human as white people. They can
About
live.
3/5.
They can live in substandard living conditions.
They can hack it.
Right. They can eat cheaper food. They can live in poorer houses. They don't need to make
You know
as
what?
much
They're being
money.
kind of reverse racist right there because they're like, us white people are soft. We can't hack it in those harsh conditions. We need moisturizers. We need lotions.
Well,
We need our wife to walk into bed with squishy socks because she put lotion on and then put socks on over it like a goddamn degenerate. Hey, honey, you want me to grab you anything from downstairs?
what's that have to do with? I'm very confused.
Soft white people. We're soft.
Okay.
That's the analogy.
Okay. I mean, that
Read
analogy was getting kind of attenuated.
It almost sounded like it hit too close to home, didn't it?
So they came up with their political idea of, well, we'll just institute a minimum wage, and that's going to raise the barrier to entry for getting a job. So, somebody who owns a factory or a farm can't just say, hey, sir, how much do I have to pay you for a day's labor? And the white guy says $2 and the black guy says $1. Kind of makes the black guy a little bit more attractive as an employee, right? Well, if they can compete with white labor on that level, well, that's just unfair because, again, they can live in more squalor than white people. And we have to make the playing field fair, right? That's minimum wage people from today. It's all about fairness. So we're going to put the minimum wage at a certain level that they can't underbid the white laborers. And then who's the employer going to hire? The white laborers. So we're going to use our fancy policy to engage in blatantly racist acts of keeping black people out of the economy. Sounds kind of messed up, right? Rough origins for minimum wage, not off to a good start, is it?
It's funny that, some people become such historians on some facts, but then on other facts, they're just blatantly ignorant of the history on those. It's like they have an agenda.
It's like they're not
like a thing they're working towards for some reason.
Oh man. So moving on from one cheery crowd to another, eugenicists.
My favorite.
So
Eugenicists.
that's
we're gonna have to look that up and put that in the show notes page.
We have to get a throwback Genesis commercial from like the 90s, early 2000s.
Holla.
All right, so the eugenicists.
I should be their brand marketing. I will never tell my mom where I'm getting all my money from, though. Hey, honey, you're doing pretty good right now. What are you doing? Yeah. I'm a marketing head for a group of open-minded thinkers, so to speak.
Oh, man. All right, so they who shall not be named for the rest of this episode.
Okay.
So they had the idea of, and again, totally not joking, an unironic idea that eugenicists had. Those people that shall not be named.
God damn it, you can't say it anymore.
I'm sorry.
They're going to clip this and they're going to make us laugh at every time we say eugenicists. That's how we're getting canceled. God damn it. Talk about being the Wile E. Coyote of podcasts. All right, don't say the damn thing again. Just keep going forward.
I'm not. I'm explaining what basically their argument was. So they were concerned about the strength and virility of the human race in general. So they said, the imbeciles, all of the kind of undesirables of society, of the human species, according to them, we don't want them to continue to procreate. We want to literally weed them out of the species. Well, one way of doing that politically is to weed them out of the economy so they can't afford to take care of themselves. And then they stop procreating.
Then why do trailer parks exist? I think they missed the mark on that one.
Ask the people who shall not be named.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's some still walking around today. They're
still
not as
like
open
rubbing
about
their
it.
chins going, damn it, I missed that one.
So anyway, they thought, well, we just got to cut them out of the economy. And not in an argument that was that different from the racists. They said, well, since these people aren't that bright, an employer says, if I'm going to hire this person, I'm going to have to hire them for way less because they're just, they're not all there upstairs. So if I'm going to hire somebody with more skills, I can pay them more. But if I just have a rote task that this person can do, I'm just going to pay them less for it. Again, this was the argument of they who shall not be named. So they figure, well, let's just make it to where those people are legally unallowed to be hired. You can't voluntarily agree with them that you're going to pay them a little bit less and give them the reason why and have them voluntarily accept the wage or not. We're just going to set the floor up here. And if you don't pay them that much, then they can't work at all. Their new minimum wage is $0. And so the employer says, well, I can't afford, I need somebody to give me more value than what that person can for the job that I'm asking them to do. So I can't hire them by law, even if we both agree to it. Sounds like a pretty rough go for old minimum wagey over here, huh, David?
Yeah,
when you're lumped in with racists and you just like legit real ones. Yeah.
You don't want to have another 5-minute cough break. It's not great.
Bad company.
It's not great. I don't think $15 is going to fix that wound.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. So, David, have you figured out where Dr. Seuss comes in?
Oh, fuck. I've got a lot of indications and no map to find them. Let's go.
So you were kind of getting there when you just made the point a second ago about how in this way, it's almost like they choose to only see one side of the story.
Well,
they only remember the historical facts that they want to remember. That's good for them, and never the bad ones, right? So the point to make with that is let's cancel the fuck out of Dr. Seuss, but FDR, who literally locked 100,000 people up in concentration camps because of their ethnicity and their national origin.
I just specifically want to know
he's
why.
Still a saint.
Why Dr. Seuss? What did Dr. Seuss do?
Listen, I'm saying, like you're legitimately asking.
Legitimately,
okay.
What is he accused of that we have to cancel him?
Okay, there's like 6 or 8, I think, of the books that he wrote where he drew racist cartoons. So like some of his characters in his Dr. Seuss books was like a Chinaman running with like a Raiden hat on and like eating out of a bowl with chopsticks. And so that's a racist symbol.
You mean Looney Tunes? You mean legitimately Looney Tunes, the cartoons we grew up on?
David, don't tell them I don't want Looney Tunes to get canceled.
You know what I heard? I heard that there's a quote that really got him kicked off. I remember it from my childhood. Like it goes like this. What you see, Cindy Lou Who, is that who doesn't look like you. So we show them this finger. And of course it means, fuck you.
Was that the who said fuck you?
I think so.
That's who? I remember that.
You're not welcome here, Black Who. I think that was the name of the book that they canceled.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Well, apparently it was more than just that picture that I explained. There were several problematic cartoons,
I'm sure.
And he had, and the guy, I forget the guy's name, like Theodore Hoesel or something like that. Anyway, he had some pretty racist views in the past, and
who hasn't?
And that came out in his artwork, and that's not cool, bro.
It's not cool nowadays. So you gotta just totally erase it.
Again, takeaway from me, I won't speak for David, but the takeaway from me on this point is, listen, we don't have to say that Dr. Seuss was a saint.
Listen.
All we're saying is, if you want to cancel Dr. Seuss and you don't want to cancel FDR, I mean, let's just compare Dr. Seuss's books, FDR locking 100,000 people in concentration camps because they're Japanese,
Big takeaway from this episode.
How many human beings were hurt in a more real and tangible way by Dr. Seuss versus FDR? I just want a little consistency. That's all. That's all. If the filibuster's racist, then the minimum wage is racist. I just want some consistency.
First of all, there's two main takeaways. Is that correlates exactly to our pre-roll banter about Cuomo. Secondly... I'm trying to hold it together before I say eugenicist again. If ham and eggs are green, you should not eat them in a box. You should not eat them with a fox. You will not eat them anywhere. I forgot the rest.
Here or there. You will not eat them anywhere.
Sam, I am. He said that I will not eat them. Sam, I am. I will not.
Let's not
eat
try to
green eggs and
recall
ham.
green eggs and ham from memory on a podcast.
Well, would you prefer the Grinch? Because I'm not losing the Grinch on Christmas. I will storm the Capitol. Mark my words.
Jerry, you didn't hear that.
Jerry, be cool, dog. You've been cool all the way up until now.
There's somebody going to be no knocking our no knock raid in our door.
Storm the Capitol. Yeah, over the Grinch, motherfucker. I'll die for the Grinch. Not that bastardized Pixar, whatever version that shit was. The real shit.
So that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Pudding.
That's the.
They'll eat the rare roast beast. Roast beast is a beast I can't stand in the least.
Are you done?
I could go all day, son.
I would prefer that you not.
I won't, but it's late.
So, the left and the right hate each other because they're the same people. And if you're going to make stupid arguments...
What do we always say, babe? What do we always say, dog? What do we always say, bro?
Oh, like dislikes like.
Like a lot.
Yeah. And if we are going to make stupid arguments because we don't have the intellectual ammunition, or we're not even going to be not disingenuous enough to honestly engage with the other side, and we're going to make stupid arguments just to be dismissive, like, oh, that's racist, well then, come on, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Your policies are racist too.
Hey, guess what?
And you should apologize.
Hey, guess what?
Not make stupid arguments.
All the Republicans are probably not Nazis, and all the liberals probably aren't pedophiles. We can start there, and let's start talking. How about that? Just an
Hashtag
idea.
unity.
Hashtag build back better.
All right, David.
Or
you want to try the outro?
Or as our president says, # build back better. I don't want to try the outro.
I'll do it.
Come on, man. We got a system.
This can be found at Weapons
It
of
doesn't
Being
work,
Destructive.
but we have a system.
It does. Yeah, it's true. WMDpodcast.com/33 is where we prefer for you to catch this, because then you can hop over there and jump on the email list, because you may not be surprised to find out this episode was supposed to have some more content, but I talk too much, goddammit. So I'm just going to have to write y'all an email about it. But you're not going to get to hear it if you're on the email list. So hop over there, WMDpodcast.com. Specifically, this episode is /33. YouTube. Check us out over there. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Also find us on Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook yet. Facebook is coming because we are about ready to get those monthly subscription offerings up over there at the website. And for just $5 a month, you can get in our private Facebook page and chop it up with your boys.
In upcoming announcements.
Yes. Many, many more. But
coming soon.
I haven't done them yet because I suck, and so we can't say them yet.
That's not exactly true. But anyway, we're working on stuff at like a 5th grade level.
Yeah.
Okay.
We dabble.
We're going to get our homework done, but we're going to get a late grade, but it's going to be done. Okay.
So
get off my ass, Miss Clifton.
Like us, share us, tell all your friends about us.
And you can find us on all the casters of pods too.
Yeah.
Just anywhere you look, just a cursory Google search, and just make sure it syncs up with it, and You, me, stay safe out there in this crazy mixed up
Can't
world.
be safe. Be what, David?
Be sanitary.
Get your face melted off.
Wash your goddamn hands.